Well, hello, my name is Benjamin Groen. This is Mathijs van Leeuwen. Today we're gonna show you some things why the FIFA is corrupt, why we think the FIFA is corrupt. First we have the overview. We'll start with the main question. Then we'll give you some background information about why we think that the FIFA is corrupt. The arguments in front of the FIFA, and then the arguments against the FIFA. Then we have the conclusion, and then there's time for questions and your opinion. We'll start with a little bit of an intro on why we think the FIFA is corrupt.
Crisis? What is a crisis? We are not in a crisis. We are only in some difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, will be organized in Russia, Qatar.
We've seen some documents that suggest you received 1.2 million from a company owned by Mathijs van Leeuwen. Mr. Warner, did the payments influence the way you voted in the World Cup bid? What were the payments for, Mr. Warner?
The goal has to be instilling confidence in the process. Beyond any particular result, there could be little support from a public that was so little informed.
La FIFA a besoin d'une profonde restructuration.
Now I will tell you something about the background information. In 2001, FIFA affiliate International Sports and Leisure went bankrupt. This led that in 2005 documents about investigations from FIFA officers. Then 2007 Jennings published a book and his first documentary. This revealed a lot of big secrets which no one knew. In 2010 the second documentary from Jennings were published, and all those documentaries led to the exposure of Jerome Valk and Jack Warner. This also led to criticism on Qatar's bid, but Benjamin will tell you more about it in the next dia. Well, our first argument will go about systematic corruption and those things. To start, we think that the FIFA is corrupt because of a few incidents and charges and a lot of money scandals. Our first argument is about 30 arrests, and 14 current and former officials has been arrested by the FIFA for systemic corruption. This means that the whole group agreed to commit corruption, and 16 more officials were arrested by this whole arrestment. And at the end, the criminal schemes were involved of €1 million. And now Benjamin will tell you more about argument 2.
Our second argument is about voting corruption. This means that the FIFA is corrupt. It's corrupt because they bought votes of other countries. Not only the FIFA, but this time it was Qatar. Qatar paid 50,000 to like Namibia and all little countries, so they could vote for Qatar. And the strange thing is, let's say Germany has 60 million inhabitants, and Namibia only has 6 million. The vote of those two countries have the same strength. So this means that if Germany votes for Qatar to be the chosen country, and Namibia votes for France to be the chosen country, it will count as the same vote, because they're just the FIFA is corrupt because it just doesn't make sense. If 60 million people have the same vote as 6 million people, it doesn't make any sense. Also, Qatar is chosen to be in 2022 to be the home country of the World Championship, but they have high costs. All the buildings there are billion-dollar companies and buildings. The local climate is above 50 degrees on a regular day, and also the human rights records there. There's a lot of racism in football, and in Qatar there will be a lot of racism also. Also in Russia there was in 2000. Russia is chosen to be in 2018 the home country, and here's a little video of racism in football with the FIFA in Russia.
Our third argument is about the money laundering. Jerome Volk, the suspended Secretary General of FIFA and former right hand of Sepp Blatter, has been sacked by football's government body. This is all because of the scandals that he sent $10 million to the former vice president Jack Warner. It's impossible that a FIFA member earns such amount of money, and because of that we speak of money laundering. The 55-year-old Frenchman was suspended from his position in September, and he planned to profit from World Cup ticket sales. Jerome says that he have never done such payments, and that he isn't even able to do it. But he is facing now a 9-year ban from football, and he has to pay a fine from $67,500 US. He has to pay this after the investigation by the FIFA ethics, so it's all clear right now. Benjamin will tell you something more about our first counter-argument. But first we have another video which reveals
This will show that Blatter paid 2 million to Platini in 2011, while the only time that Platini and Blatter worked together was back in 2002, when Platini was the vice president of the FIFA. So here's a little video of it just doesn't make any sense what happened there.
Beaucoup d'entre vous probablement sont venus ce matin avec l'intention de me questionner.
Many of you have come this morning with the wish to question me about these events, the future of FIFA and my personal future. I will of course treat these questions one day, when the time is right. There's a time for everything, but it's not now and it's not here.
Pour donner le coup d'envoi officiel de la vente de la
We're officially starting public ticket sales for the Euro. That's a very important step for the tournament, and I don't want FIFA news to harm Euro 2016 news. It's part of my job as UEFA president to make sure of that.
Au pavillon Gabriel à Paris pour cette conférence de presse, un an.
Then we'll go on to some statistics about the FIFA and where they get their money from. As you can see, back in 2005 they had some cash reserves that were like $250 million. Within a time span of 9 years, the FIFA has, has made over $1.5 billion of cash reserves, and no one knows where it came from. After doing some research, it came from selling tickets and not giving away the money to, let's say, South Africa to build stadiums, but they put them in their own pocket. So they could just have some extra money for in the future, I guess, and to make a payment to Jack Warner and all kind of things.
Well, our first counter argument is about that there's no proof. As I already said, 4 current and former officials were arrested. They were arrested on suspicion of the money laundering, but the weird thing is that they were only heard, so they weren't really arrested, they were only heard and were released after it. So they have never been condemned for the crime, and if there was evidence that they would have been in jail, they had have big fines. So there is no proof about it. There's also have been money transferred to members of FIFA. At least that is what the investigation said, but it's also never have been proved. So they can tell the rumors to everyone, but if they weren't proved, you can't go like it.
Then there was also our second counter argument is about individual corruption. The FIFA said that within the FIFA it's just all good business, but there are a few black sheeps who try to go into the group and make sure that all the other white sheeps turn black. So let's say there's only one person, let's take Platini, who has had bad influence on the group. He's trying to convince the others that they also need to have bad influence in the group and outside of the group. So they create the thought of that the FIFA is bad, and this means that the whole of the FIFA is being seen as a bad thing, but it's not. It's only a few black sheeps. So the FIFA is trying to protect the community and pick out the black sheeps and take them out because they just ruin the whole company.
Our third counter argument. Blatter made a $2 million payment to Platini back in 2011, but nobody knows where the money came from. The weird thing was that the payment was made in 2011, and while Platini only worked with Blatter back in 2002, so that's also another no proof for corruption in the FIFA company. We will go on to, I think, the conclusion. We think that FIFA is corrupt because of all the criminal charges. Yes, of course, they weren't proved, but if there are criminal charges in a company, it has to be something weird and going on that. Then the illegal voting. The illegal voting was clear and told by Benjamin, and the uncertified money transfers are still not certified on this day. So it's all those three things are still weird and can't be placed in some subject.
And then the FIFA also has a weird history, as you could see from back in 2002 or 2001 until now 2016. They're still corrupt. They still money. They still do money laundering, and a lot of money is gone or in the pocket of Platini or Blatter, or you can name it. And then
This was our presentation, and this is the question part.